Hi, welcome to Briones Pickleball. My name is Jordan Briones, and in today's video, we're going to be talking all about singles strategy. You're not going to want to miss this, so now let's jump right in. All right, so recently I played in a pro pickleball tournament, and I'll leave a link in the description below so you can watch my whole experience playing in my first pro tournament in 2+ years. But in this video, we are going to be breaking down and analyzing a whole match, actually my second singles match of that day, and we're going to be watching it all the way through together. We're going to be pointing out some singles strategy tips, maybe what I could have done differently, and watching this can really help you with your game if you're getting into singles or you plan to at some point. Now, even if you only play doubles, I think you could still appreciate this video, and it can really help you see some different strategies that actually can transcend to the doubles court. So without any further ado, let's get right to it. All right, so here we go. This is at Bellbank Park, right here in my neck of the woods in Mesa, Arizona, and we got me serving on the even side to start out this match, and my opponent there is Ben Newell. And you'll notice right off the bat, he's a lefty. Really tough to play lefties at times, and we're gonna see how I did against him, and also what key adjustments that maybe I could have made mid-match, and also even after watching it. Remember, this is my first time watching it all the way through, so this is gonna be a really raw reaction with all of you. All right, so here we go, me to serve. All right, so off the bat, I'm trying to hit my first passing shot down the line. Let's take a look at the first two shots in pickleball, which is the serve and return. Now, in singles, the serve and return, I would say, are actually way more, not really important, but, it really builds on itself, obviously in doubles, but in singles, it really snowballs if you have a bad serve or bad return. So my first serve here was actually really deep here. You can see it to Ben's backhand. Okay, so really deep serve, probably a foot or two from the line. He hits a little backhand slice, and look where he's going. First shot, right? We've never met each other, never played each other. He returns to my backhand, which is really smart, and he's testing out my backhand side. So for those of you that are just getting into singles, most players' backhands are weaker, or they just have less attacking options on that side compared to their forehand. So going to your opponent's backhand more often is a good play. All right, so here I think I'm actually in pretty good position to hit this ball here. I'm stepping in, two-handed backhand, good contact point out in front. And this ball was out probably by a foot or two. All right, so I think in this kind of point here, it is definitely me not giving enough margin there. And as you can see, it just goes really wide. So looking at this again, honestly, he had a good slice return down the line, but it was fairly short. It wasn't pressing me at all. I was stepping in my shot. So I don't think this shot selection was that bad, but I probably should move my margins in a little bit. And what that means is instead of going for the line, right, I need to bring it about 2 or 3 feet in. So not a bad shot selection there. All right, bent to serve to my backhand. All right, actually a really good second point there. And we're going to go back and watch this from the serve here. Okay, so Ben, again, is a lefty. Obviously, you can tell he has great strokes, previous tennis player. And where does he go for my serve? He goes for my backhand. Okay, so nice, deep serve to the backhand, and watch my return. Especially for singles, for high consistency and high percentage, it's always good to return down the middle and deep if you can. Here is a good example of me returning deep, and it does give him his forehand, his strong shot, but it gives him less angles to work with. Okay, so that's what I'm thinking here. You can see me come into a split step here. Okay, so a split step is something that's really, really key, especially for your singles game. When you are making your way to the net after your return, you're trying to get in a good, strong position, also known as a split step. Here you can see my feet touch the ground, and in this position, my feet are pretty wide, but this allows me to explode to my left if I have to take a backhand, or towards my right if he's going to try to pass me on my forehand side. So this is a good, strong position here, and let's see where he goes with this ball. Goes to my backhand, and this forehand to my backhand, I'm sure he was trying to get a lot more, or get me moving a lot more. He hits it kind of right to me, so that's why I hit the ball on the left side of his court here. Okay, and notice as I hit the ball, let's just go back here. Notice as I volley this ball towards the left side of his court, which, analyzing it now, I should have probably maybe volleyed it to his backhand, and we'll talk about that in a bit. But as I move it to his left side of the court, which is my right side, notice how I shift over slightly, okay? So this is just called shading, and this happens in doubles as well. You hear about following the ball and, moving with the ball. This is kind of the same thing. Now, in a future single strategy video, I think I'm going to do more. We're going to dive deeper into this kind of coverage. But in a basic understanding level, as you're hitting towards one side of the court, shade and slide a little bit over so that you can make sure that you cover that down the line shot. Okay, so here we go. And then he decides to hit cross court to my backhand. And I think right there, you can tell he's not really trying to hit a passing shot. And this is actually a smart play. He's actually trying to hit a little drop to land in the kitchen or in the non-volley zone. So here, this is a pretty high ball here. And this is one of my favorite shots, of backhand swinging volley. And he was expecting that ball to go down the line. You can actually see his body language and everything as he hits this ball. He's expecting it over there, and maybe, I should have went over there. For this point, I tried to angle it off the court and force him to hit a tough ball. Now, Ben has a really, really good forehand, and you can see how this is just a really good shot down the line. And it almost catches me. I barely get it. This tips the net here, and he's going to come around. Okay, really good deception there. Watch here how I volley this ball, and it's coming off the net, and he's coming to his right, and I'm shading back to my left, right? Because I got to come back towards the middle of the court. As you can see that the ball is bouncing, and it's headed towards his right side of the court. So that's why I'm shading over. And this is like a little inside out forehand. And because I split step right here, I just want to show you this. This is why I could actually even get to this ball. Split step right there. This was a really, really tough reach. And look, I try to go behind him actually, okay? And you'll see this very, very often. I know at this point here, as this ball is coming to me, his left side of the court is wide open. So this is definitely an option when you're in this position and your opponent, when you're playing singles, is back or in the transition, making their way or trying to make their way up at the net. One of the things that you can do is go away from them, which would be on his left side of the court. And you can see this little opening, or actually a pretty large opening. But because my contact point when I hit this ball is so low, it's really, really tough to actually put it in a place where, it's really, really aggressive and away from him. Or you can go behind him like I just did in this shot here. And another reason why I wanted to go behind him there is because it's to his backhand. Okay, so now watch me shade over to my left. Okay, so currently Ben is hitting this ball and it's close to his sideline on his right side of the court. And watch me where I split step here. I'm shaded over. You can see my whole, both of my feet are on the left side of the court. And this is good court coverage and good positioning when we're talking about covering the next ball. All right, so he does a really, really good and third shot, or I guess not a third shot, but a drop. This is more a defensive play. And this is actually a really, really smart shot from Ben. Okay, so he flicks it cross court. He knows that I'm shading over a little bit down the line. I'm covering him, so I'm not going to let him pass me down the line. But he hits a nice slow shot into the kitchen to buy him time. Okay, so when you are in a stress position or you are out of position, it's always good to buy yourself some time, especially in singles. Drop the ball cross court just like this and get back towards the middle, which you can see Ben doing right here. Okay, this was actually a really, really good drop. It pushes me out. I have all my weight leaning diagonally backwards to the side, and from here I go back to the backhand. So I think this is still a right play, or a pretty good play back to the backhand, but you can see me coming back towards the middle of the court, getting ready to split step. And watch this during his contact on my left side of the court, because the ball is where it's towards that sideline, and he goes for a down the line pass. Okay, and you can see here he just misses just wide. All right, so that's the shot that I'm trying to force when I volley that ball cross court. I'm going to his backhand side. We'll back it up. He hits this drop here. And now I am going cross court to his backhand, and I'm shading back towards that sideline. And you can see me split step here as he hits. I'm trying to force him into that down the line shot, because that net is the highest part, or it's the highest part of the net is near the sideline. So it's a tougher shot, and it's just a riskier shot most of the time when you're going down the line, as you can see. All right, so here we go. Let's see this serve here. Nice return down the middle. Okay, this was just a nice low slice return down the middle, as you can see here. And what did I just tell you in the beginning? Returning down the middle deep is a good option, because it gives me less angles to work with, or whoever is getting hit the return. But from the middle of the court, I definitely have less angles, and we can talk about that on future points or in a future video. But you can see the return goes right down the middle. And I remember this shot. Actually, I'm trying to hit like a topspin third shot drop to his backhand, but I frame it a little bit, and probably wasn't the best body position. I could have set up better, obviously here. But I missed this one right into the net. Okay. Here we go. Now Ben to serve here. Middle return. Okay, here we go again. So this was a nice middle return, deep middle return, giving him, the least amount of angles I can. And he goes for a kind of inside out down the line shot. Now that shot is a pretty tough shot to execute, especially when someone is putting a lot of pressure on you at the net. All right, but we'll definitely see this in future points here. So that was out. Really awesome return there. Okay, so this was just a really good passing shot here. Now, let's talk about returning in doubles and in singles play. All right, so the return, obviously it's a very, very important component of the game, but I would say in singles, it's even more evident or more pronounced when we talk about the importance of the return. Obviously in singles play, we want to get our returns deep, and if we can, we're going to make them move to the left, to the right, making them run, or we can hit it down the middle like we talked about to, expose less angles for that shot coming back. As you can see here, my serve was pretty, it was fairly deep, but he actually rips this return down the line. This was an incredible forehand here, and he makes his way to the net, okay? Because he knows this is a deep return to my backhand with a lot of topspin. So here we go, and I drive this ball. And honestly, I'm just trying to drive that ball fairly low. And wow, I didn't see this at first, but this is a very, very low volley. So that ball was hit pretty well by me. He hits a pretty good deep volley again to my backhand. So, and you can see it's to my backhand, but it's kind of towards the middle of the court here. And I am in good position though. And I'm leaning in here. And that's just a pretty good backhand pass. Yeah, so that was just a good pass there. And let's just see where Ben is here. And he is shaded fairly correctly here. So you can see his split step coming right there. And he's covering, he's a little bit more towards his right side of the court. But I just hit a fairly good passing shot there. All right, so 1-0. I remember this play. I actually thought this serve was out initially. You can't tell from here, but let's see here. You can't tell from this angle, but this serve landed in. So it's really tough. But when you're playing a match and you think your shots are out, just keep playing. Do whatever you can to stay engaged, stay in the point until someone calls it out or the ref stops the point. All right. So he does not come up here because maybe he thought it was out as well, and he had to play this ball. Because usually in singles pickleball, especially at the highest levels, you want to hit a good return and put pressure at the net. Okay. So here, Ben decides to stay back. Now, what do? I drive it down the line to his backhand, and I come in. Okay, so a little key tip. If the returner does not come to the net, drive that next ball to the weaker side or the weaker shot and then come in. So that you see me doing that just there. I drive it to his backhand, and I split step here. And honestly, this was just a really good low backhand to my forehand here. Okay, so that's a tough volley. I'm trying to recover middle a little bit. Right. And he just misses me. He actually goes right at me. So this is really interesting because obviously when your opponent is striking the ball, usually in singles, they're trying to get it away from you. They're either going to go from this position down the line or cross court. We're seeing this a lot more now, I think, in higher level play. I think at times, strategically, it's good to go right at the person to surprise them. And this is a scenario where it definitely surprised me. But generally, you're going to see a shot selection of good players to go, down the line, make me reach on my forehand, or cross court to make me reach to my backhand. So it just totally misses me, and that was out. All right. Okay. So now we're going to talk about shot selection here. So here we're going to go start with the serve. Nice slice return. And I want you to see this return has a little bit of backspin and it's fairly short. Okay. So that's the first key indicator. Now watching this back and analyzing myself, obviously I can analyze it a lot better than compared to real time when you're breathing, you're huffing and puffing, and you have the adrenaline going on. This is why it's good to video record yourself and do these kinds of things. This is a short ball, and really have to do a lunge step, trying to hit this backhand, and I end up going for this down the line shot. Really, really tough. I think I mishit it a little bit, but a better shot selection, I think, from here, just because the ball was short and it has backspin on it. It's fairly low. Instead of hitting a backhand down the line, first of all, down the line is the highest part of the net. So obviously, that is the tougher shot. So cross court, if driving the ball cross court would be an option. But the thing here is the cross court ball is the Ben's forehand. So that's why I'm thinking more drive it down the line, trying to get it to his backhand. But regardless, this is a short ball, as we just talked about here. It's fairly low. So I would like to see myself next time hitting a third shot drop. Okay. So, or, a drop descending into the non-volley zone and trying to slow this point down. So I could either drop it down the line towards his backhand, or the higher percentage shot, even if it is to his forehand, would be dropping it cross court to his forehand. And if you could get your drops descending down towards that non-volley zone line, it doesn't need to be a perfect ball. It's just to get me in better position on the next point. So you can see I go for that down the line shot, which is probably not the highest percentage. All right, here we go. We have Ben serving again. Nice return, nice serve. Okay, just went for a little much there. Stayed back again. Now, this is another time Ben did not come up on the return, okay? So in singles, like I said, it's really, really vital, especially at the highest levels, that you return deep and go to the net aggressively to put a lot of pressure on your opponents. I think there is an element of, when your opponent is returning the ball and they don't come in, there's some sort of thought process, I think, in my mind, like, they didn't come in, so I really got to make a really good shot, put the pressure on them. And I think at times this could make you think really fast and can develop to an error. So, which is a little something that we'll look at right now. We have the serve, the return, and he stayed back. And this ball had some pretty good backspin to it. And you can see me, I'm just, probably not looking at the ball, or I'm just looking up too far, trying to see where Ben is, and I just don't contact it well. And it was just a pretty weird contact there. But, what I was going for here actually is I was probably trying to go deep down the line to, to Ben's forehand over there, and then I was going to try to apply pressure at the net. Okay, so that's just a little miss there. All right, Ben with the serve. Okay, so I dug myself out of that point, and that started with a good deep serve. I'm gonna just show you here, really, really deep serve. Now with the serve in singles pickleball, obviously I think depth is number one, but if you could, add pace on your depth and also spin, that's what makes returning really, really tough in this game. So obviously Ben here has really good ground strokes, really good technique on his forehand, on his serve. Here you go. A lot of spin, a lot of depth, and a lot of pace. This ball lands, within a foot or two of the baseline. Ideal serve to my backhand. And right here, and look how far I actually was standing back. And this is a key tip for returning against good servers. Give yourself a lot of room. And you can see in pro singles, or the highest levels of singles, players will give themselves a lot of room and create that space so that they can hit their returns with their momentum moving in, which helps them approach the net. But let's see this again. Really deep serve here. Now, for whatever reason, I think I mishit it a little bit, and I know this return is going to be very, very short, and I'm not going to be able to get all the way up to the net. So what do? I decide to hang back, and you can see me come in, and I'm like, all right, well, I'm going to have to play the point out from here. Now, Ben here is now at the advantage because he's hitting now an approach shot, going to keep the ball deep and keep me back. All right, so we'll see Ben here, nice, and he keeps it to my backhand. Really, really smart play. Little slice here, and he split steps right there, and he's in good position. Remember, because the ball is closer to a particular sideline, you'll see in this case it's closer to my left sideline. You'll see Ben mirror that, and he's going to be shaded correctly at the net, and you can see both of his feet are on his right side of the court. Right, so I go for a backhand down the line, and I force him to hit a volley on his backhand side. Really nice volley there. And you know what? I see him coming back, and I have different options here. After this shot, I can, from this position here, I can actually go cross court, right? And I see Ben recovering back, and that would be hitting on one side and then trying to go on the other side. Or, like I said, and I mentioned a bit ago, I can go behind him, is what exactly you'll see here. I go right back to the same spot that I hit it the first time. And that was just a pretty good passing shot there. All right, here we go. That was tough. Really, really tough return there. Okay, so he has a really good backhand topspin return, as you can see here. Serve wasn't the best. I mean, I would like to get that deeper, obviously. Really, really tough return here. And look, I'm falling back. And let's see. And I'm trying to hit a roll, actually. You can tell I'm trying to roll this ball cross court, dipping down, like kind of like a, like a drip, a drop, a drop drive, kind of into his right side of the court around the non-volley zone. Now, analyzing this again, I mean, this is a tough return here. Trying to hit a topspin ball or a topspin drop off a return like that's very, very tough. I should have probably came under the ball and try to slow this ball down and just get this ball over towards maybe, the middle of the court or to its backhand. But anytime you get a tough return like this, you definitely don't want to hit a topspin ball. Get under it and maybe hit more of a slice or lift just to get you back in the point. Okay, so I would just say that shot selection wasn't the best here. And I did give myself a chance. It went over, but it wasn't the best. It went right to Ben, and unfortunately it hits the net for the winner. All right. All right, so really, really good play here. Really good forehand. So here's a serve, Ben to serve. Now here, let's see my return. I'm hitting it right down, towards the middle, but towards his backhand actually. So this was a really deep return here. Couldn't ask for a better return than that. Split stepping here. He rips it cross court to my forehand. And look at this setup. And this ball that I hit right here, it wasn't that short, but this is just a great shot from Ben. Cross court on the stretch run. That was a really low ball, really, really tough. Now, just analyzing this again here, not a bad idea that this first volley, I'm trying to go to the open court or to the more open court to his left side of the court. But I would like to see me, really attacking his backhand more. And I think, over the course of the match, I really wasn't thinking that, or that really wasn't a forefront of my strategy going in, playing a lefty. But, after analyzing the match, it definitely should have. But I think this volley wasn't terrible. But, I would like to see me volley this ball towards his backhand. It gives him his strong shot on his forehand side. And this is just a really good cross-court ball. And as you can see here, I was actually shaded correctly here. But this ball had a lot of topspin dipping down. Really, really tough ball. All right, here we go. Ben to serve. Right, so return error count. We'll have it up here on the screen. I don't know how many returns that I missed here in this match, but we'll put a little counter there. This was just a, Really, really good serve here. A lot of kick, a lot of topspin. And you know what? In singles, there's definitely a lot more service return errors than doubles. So let's just talk about that really quick. Obviously, like I said, if you do not hit quality returns on your return when you are playing singles, it's going to be really, really hard for you, and you're going to be catching up. If you hit really, really bad returns in singles, it's very easy to get past, or you may not, want to get to the net, and you're going to be at a huge disadvantage after that. So in singles, players are really going for their serves, and they're trying to hit solid returns, and this definitely happens, and you'll see some return errors from both of us in this match. All right. Okay, here we go. Remember this point here. So this was actually a great return by me. Now, if I could return like this every time, I don't know. Maybe I'd be Ben Johns. Not sure, but you can see this return has height on the ball. It's really, really deep, and it lands really close to the line, and it's allowing me and buys me time. Look how close I am to the net, and look at where Ben is hitting this ball. And look at this, a third shot lob. Not a bad option here. And let's look at my footwork here. Wasn't expecting him to hit this, but I have a really wide split step here, wide base, boom. I'm getting ready for him to hit some sort of passing shot, but he elects to hit a third shot lob, and my first step is this left foot. So to really get in good position on a lob, I will step forward with my left, or that little foot with my movement with my left foot, and I'll drop my right foot back. So this is good positioning on my overhead here. Now this is actually pushing me back pretty far, and you can see here I'm actually hitting that ball falling back. So that's not ideal. That actually was a pretty good lob, which really I had to hit it falling back. So here we go. Now I'm trying to get back to the net, and this volley. Now again, this is another higher volley, kind of nonchalant. I don't know what I was thinking here. I could have been a lot more aggressive on this ball, and I could have went to his backhand cross court. I'm not sure what I was thinking here. I'm going down the line to his forehand. Okay, and he gets his strong shot. And look, this is like a shot right on my face. It might have been going out, but I just had a good reflex here and got the ball, luckily, in the court there. Okay. Again, this is the shot that I would like to see myself getting out of or not doing next time here. But here's the return from Ben here. Really tough return. And look, I am going back diagonally. My weight is going off the court and back at the same time. And I'm trying to roll this shot a little bit. I would like to just see me get in better position, or I could actually maybe lob it in this position, kind of like what Ben just did, to buy myself a lot of time in this scenario. But I fortunately get it over the net, not what I wanted. Now I can crash the net here. So he hits a fairly high ball, and this is just a good closing volley, and I'm just going cross court, trying to go behind Ben there. All right. So here we go. Here's a good example of a little decision that I made, which I don't think was bad, but I could have did something a little bit different here. This first drive goes right to his forehand, and he hits a nice little cut drop here. So it actually tips the net, which I didn't see the first time, but here we go. I have a backhand. Now I have different options on this shot. Remember, as it's closer towards the sideline, you can see Ben shaded correctly in good position. I could go down the line, passing shot here to his backhand. I could go cross court passing shot to his forehand, or I can hit more of like a third shot drop or something angled off. And what I was going for here, which I don't think it was a terrible decision. I was trying to go for like a third shot roll or just like an angled backhand topspin shot short, pulling him off. And this just went a little bit wide. So in that position, I could have just elected to just drive it to his forehand side, or I could have just with slice probably just slowed it down, and because this was a shorter ball, right? It landed right around there, right? I could have just hit this with slice or underspin, trying to control it a little bit better and hit it towards his left side of the court. So it's always easier to hit with underspin, I think, and trying to slow it down. That's the main key when you're trying to get back into the point. When you're hitting some sort of topspin ball or you're trying to roll it, it's a much tougher shot. So you want to make sure that you're in better position if you are going for something like that. Right, bend to serve. Okay, return error counter. We'll add that one to the books. And we'll add that. So that's something you never want to see. Obviously, after a first return error, that's very unfortunate. 2 in a row, not great. Okay, so let's just see the serve. And honestly, sometimes players are going to hit tough serves. The return game, we've been talking about this a lot in this video. Obviously, very, very important to hit good quality returns, and the returns are something I'm still working on today in my game. Here we can see this serve here was fairly deep and with a lot of spin, so really tough. You can see me way off screen. I'm giving myself adequate room and just maybe misjudge the spin or whatever. Really good serve by Bender. And this is a little frustration because obviously I missed 2 in a row returns, and this next serve literally hits the line. So, or really close to it. Really tough. And I'm just doing my best to fight that off. Here we go. And I'm coming in. And this is just a nice down the line shot. Really pulling me out wide. And I want to show you how Ben hits this ball. He doesn't hit it really hard. He just hits it in a great place, okay? So try to remember that for singles. A lot of times, especially when you're starting out playing singles, especially at recreational levels, you don't need to hit the ball as hard as you can, okay? Everyone is not fast like the youngsters or the pros. If you're playing in a higher age group, or if you're playing, something that is a lower level, just try to place the ball. That's a really important key tip. Placement over power, especially in singles play. So here we go. I try to come into a good split step. Not sure if he's going to go down the line or cross court. And he just sends a ball. Really makes me reach for this. So really tough. All right, bent to serve. All right, so that was a nice volley. And I like that I went down the line there to his backhand with that volley, at least to put pressure on his weaker side. Not saying that his backhand is weak, but compared to his forehand, it's definitely the less aggressive side here. Okay, this volley here, high ball to the open court to his backhand. And there we go. All right. So going for your serves again, in singles, I actually like the aggression. And in doubles play, really tough serves, don't benefit you as much as singles, because, your partner in doubles is helping you cover the entire court. So even if you hit a bad return, you're only covering half of the court relatively, and on that third shot drive if they were to drive it. In singles, you're really trying to put a lot of pressure on your serve. And, you're going to miss some serves here and there in singles. And even the top players do because they're trying to put the maximum pressure on the returner. That was a great return there. Okay, so this is kind of like a shot that we went over that I just hit here, but good backspin cross court ball here. That's a little miss hit. You can see it misses my paddle a little bit. And this is a shot diving or diving down, and it's very low and he's running for. Okay, so sometimes I know we all get shots. If you play singles at all, you all get shots that are short that you're running in to get, and he goes for a top spin shot. Remember, again, if you're running towards the ball and you're reaching, you definitely want to come more under it, more like more of like a slice or a lift. And I would like to see Ben here, analyzing his game in this 1 point to go cross court to my backhand, which he was going for. But if the ball's this low and you're running for it, obviously hitting it with topspin is tough. So in this position, it's good to just get under the ball more and try to lift it up and hit a slower ball cross court towards, my non-volley zone on my left side of the court. All right. Right, another shot. You can see me a little bit frustrated there. That was, just missing that. Here's a serve. Nice return. A lot of pace to my sideline here. And I was kind of well set up. I wasn't on the move. And this is me just not leaving enough margin. Now, Ben is really, really good at the net. He has a lot of length and he's quick. So, sometimes you try to go for too much margin. And, I'm actually practicing singles later today. I'm going to be working on keeping my passing shots, especially on the backhand side, keeping them in a little bit so I avoid wide ball errors like that. Okay, great return there. All right, that's just a pretty tough. That was just a really good passing shot down the line there. Probably thought he was going cross court. Really, really tough. Little luck on my side. You gotta have a little luck to win. Okay, so this is pretty hilarious. Ben, if you ever watch this, good playing, man. And, when you're in town, if you ever want to practice, give me a holler. All right, but this is something that I've never seen before. All right, so I've seen different versions of this, controlling the pace of the game. But I just want to point this out just because I thought it was pretty funny during the match. A little bit more frustrating during the match, but now looking at it, it's actually pretty funny. But anyways, here's a serve. I hit a little net cord there, and usually, common thought and common gamesmanship. Ben just lost the point. They'll give you the ball back, and then you're gonna take the ball back, get ready to serve, and serve. Now this is what we call controlling the pace of the game to the extreme. Okay, I've never seen this before, but this is pretty funny. Ben walks back with the ball, but he didn't win the point. He just walks back with it. And I walked back to my sideline, thinking to myself, that's weird. Then he gives the ball back. Look at that. Okay, now that might not mean much or show much to you, but that was just pretty funny. Pretty funny, Ben. Good way to control that pace. Next time, if I do play you again, I'll be doing the same thing. So, no hard feelings. All right. Good. Nice volley to the backhand. Nice drop. All right. So, excellent use of a drop shot here. So, along with shots in singles, a lot of effective shots. One of the shots is a drop shot. If you have your opponent way back in the court or falling back, weight falling back, utilizing a drop shot is a very, very effective tool if you when done at the right time. So here we go. We'll see the serve, return, good volley. Now look, my momentum is moving back really tough. You can see me hitting that backhand with my momentum going back. I think he's going to push it deep somewhere, and he hits a nice touch volley here. Really, really tough. That's just a good disguise there. All right. Backhand return. All right. So same kind of thing. Going down the line at the highest part of the net with that margin is really, really tough. And it's usually the lower percentage shot. So unless your opponent is way out of position here. Okay. So let's see this. And I'm not way out of position. Right here, you can see the ball is on his left side of the court. So on my side, I'm shaded a little bit to my right. And you can see here, Ben goes down the line here. So going cross court is usually the highest percentage ball, unless you really have a good stroke or you feel like you can really get that ball past them and leave some good margin. All right, here, serving, nice slice return. Okay, that's just good movement. That's a really good example of controlling the net here. So I hit a good volley. Actually makes him stretch and reach here. He recovers, does a little turnaround here. Good, and he's pulling me to the right side of the court here. He has me scrambling, and I'm doing my best to keep that ball. Here's another shot. Instead of just hitting it or going for a ground stroke, I should have lifted and tried to drop into the non-volley zone. So here I'm on the full stretch. I'm running, and I'm going to be working on this tonight as I practice for the upcoming tournament. But this is definitely a ball that I need to slow down to give myself time, not hit hard. And as you can see, he's just making me run to the other side because I didn't give myself enough time. And that's just a really, really tough ball. All right, so when you are being pulled off, or you're on the full stretch, on the full run, if you don't have a good shot at a good drive, you can always drop the ball cross court. Try to drop it towards the non-volley zone line or in the kitchen cross court to buy yourself some time. I did not do that here, and this is why I put myself in a really tough spot. All right. All right. Tough ball there. All right. Serving. Good serve. Even better return. Look at this. I hit a great serve there. Really, really close to the line. Yep, foot from the line. And look at his return. Has to land. Same spot within a foot. So I wasn't expecting that kind of return. A really good return there, Ben. Again, serve return error. Add that to the counter. There we go. That was a good return. Okay, so I think I kind of do remember this point, and I hit such a good return here. Let's break this down a little bit. Here's the serve. He hit a really good return, and he didn't even come in here. So I know that what I want to do is hit this ball deep and crash the net, which I do. Okay, so I would like to hit it deeper than that if I could. He's going to my backhand, and this is a pretty solid volley. So you can see me here really leaning in, pushing this ball out with my body, momentum moving forward, and to his backhand here. Okay, and it's this ball. That ball I did not do enough. A short ball towards the middle of the court, and he just rolled it. He just rolled it down the line. Really nice control there by Ben. But, at the highest levels, you have to make sure that you do enough with your volley. Okay, so this volley, really, really good. You can see it's deep into the court, and it's making him move. this second ball here. Not a bad volley, but I think I was trying to more angle it. But look, this doesn't make him move much. It's more towards the middle of the court, and it's short. This ball's landing short, and he just kind of flicks it down the line here. Really, really good ball. A little slip and slide there by Ben. Let's see if this return. That return was really close. Here we go. Oh yeah, that was way in. Really, really tough. Good. All right. So, and then I get it way on the other side. He almost even gets it here. Really quick guy. All right. So here's another point where you have somebody running way, way off the court here. And, you know, you can go, like I said, you could go for a passing shot. But when you're this far off, you know, for Ben in this situation to buy himself time and to, you know, get him back in the point, he could hit some sort of slower ball or a drop into that non-volley zone, really utilize that non-volley zone to buy time. And instead, he goes for a drive, which is not a bad drive, but I'm right there to cover. And I'm going to push it all the way back to the other side on his backhand. Right, another miss serve. All right, Ben to serve. That's just a really good roll again. Here we go. Let's watch that again. Good deep serve. Return wasn't bad here. So he hits right at me, which kind of jams me up a little bit. Wasn't expecting that, and that causes a really short volley here. Anytime your opponent is stepping in, you know, to the ball and you're in the middle of the court here, you know, they have a lot of different options here. He could have went cross court, you know, towards my backhand. And in this case, he hits a little inside out forehand, which is just a really good ball. Tough to read that. All right, as you can see here, we're at the switch. This is a game to 15 consolation rounds. So he's definitely up in this point of the game. So let's see what I do to try to fight back here. Good return down the middle. All right, that was good pressure at the net there. Little serve return error by Ben. Okay, so that was a pretty good passing shot. And this is what I'm talking about. Not, I don't have to go for crazy winner here. This is just a really good ball. And it's, you know, dropping fairly low, making him stretch. So, you know, trying to, you know, work on your passing shots if you are playing singles, you know, trying to not go for the line and just, you know, keep your margins in as much as you can. All right. That was a really good drop there. And here we go. Let's see this point again. Great return here. And you know what? I'm in good position. I'm just going to be working on that backhand. Look how high this shot goes. I would like for this shot to go a lot lower, obviously, if I can. He hits a really good little drop shot here that I barely get to and goes into the net. All right, so that was a good return there. That's another scenario where you really want to capitalize on your opponent not coming to the net and you just go for a little bit too much. So here we go. He returned a really good ball. He stayed back. And I'm just thinking I got to get this ball as deep as I can, and then come to the net, put pressure on him. But obviously I missed that one. That was a tough one there. All right, return to the backhand there. Worked out. Okay, just going a little too close to the sideline there. All right, so that was a good volley to just getting my volley down there. Let's see how that played out. Little net cord there. He flicks it where? Right at me. I'm sure Ben was trying to get this away from me, but that's just me doing a good job getting that ball down at his feet, and I thankfully let that go. All right, so here's the first lob serve of the day. So I was definitely behind here. I'm just trying something different. I think my serves were pretty good, but I missed a few serves, so I'm just probably trying to see what the outcome would be, trying something different. And as a tactic in doubles and in singles, if you are losing and you're not trying at least something a little bit different, then you're going to have to try to win that way by doing the same exact thing. So not wrong all the time, but definitely if you are down, trying some new things. Now, when I say new things, that doesn't mean low percentage things. That just means just trying some different tactics on the court. So as you can see here, try a little lob serve here. Now lob serves are good because it's definitely a slower ball. It gives them more time to think, and it just changes the rhythm of the point here. So I know he wasn't expecting this. Obviously, I would like to get this a lot deeper, but he hits it here, and I end up winning the point. And when something is working, you kind of keep going for it. So that's what I was doing, and that's actually how I got back into this match slightly. So again, after the lob serve here, backhand straight to his backhand. You see that down the line backhand shot. Again, oh, he really pulls me off here to his backhand shot side, and he's shaded correctly. You can see Ben is towards his right sideline, and I'm just making him stretch on that backhand side. Here we go. He hits a short ball, and this is a little flick down the line back to his backhand. All right, another lob serve here. Super short. Not ideal. I actually had a pretty good look at that ball. That lob serve definitely super short. I would like to get that deeper. That's something I can be practicing as well. But here, not a bad choice. And in this position, I was trying to go for an inside out towards his kitchen line on his left-handed side. So I just missed it. I think that would have been a fairly tough ball for him. All right, Ben serving again. Add that to the missed returns category. All right, he goes for the third shot lob there. You don't see that often in singles, but hey, you know what? Not a bad play, but a little bit risky. Okay, I'm going back to the regular serve. And look, a little service error from Ben there. Okay, so on the next point, I go for the lobster again. Okay, just a little good roll from me. His return is what set that up. It wasn't the greatest return, and it gave me a lot of options, I think, on my next shot. Boom. I drove it to his backhand here. And from this position, here's just a little roll cross court, highest percentage shot. And I like to see me doing this. If I'm coming in, I'm not running or stretching, but it's a low ball. But this is just a tiny little roll towards cross court, which is good. Again, I throw that up. And that's just a good backhand there. That would land it in. And again, this is just an example of me just trying something new. I scored, 3 to 4 points right here with a lob serve. So, I'm just kind of continuing trying to build on that. We go a little bit deeper. And we actually get a missed return out of that. Okay. Like I said, the lob serve, definitely something to start to add to your game, just to, mix it up. And in doubles, it's actually a really, really good thing, especially against players who like to hit the ball really hard. If you're running into bangers or players who like to tee off on the ball and you're getting really tough returns, hitting a slow, high lob serve will definitely change that rhythm and can be beneficial. Okay, again, that's super short though. Gonna work on my deep lob serves. This is the best point of the match here. Remember this one. All right, and I throw my paddle, and I just gave up there. I walked off the court. No, I'm just kidding. Okay, but let's go back to this. This is probably the one of the best points in the match here, and let's break this one down. Right, so here we go. Got the little lob serve going on. Gotta get that deeper, Jordan. Nice slice. I mean, Ben has a good slice on his backhand side. Kept it low, so I'm driving it right to his forehand. Not the smartest play. Right here, and this is a good decision. At least this is good decision making by me. See, this ball, I could drive it, but you know, I don't have a lot of angles open for me because this ball's in the middle of the court. So I decide to hit a drop, third shot drop here, just to get that ball down. Okay, now I'm approaching the net a little bit, and this is a little flick here. Little luck on Ben's side there. I'm trying to flick this cross court. I remember this. And this just floats a little high. This is the right shot. If I can, I would like to get this dropping in the non-volley zone. Obviously, you can see me here sliding to get to this ball. And he just pokes it down the line where it's way away from me. And I have to really run and get this again. You see me do another slide here. And I was trying to get this ball cross court into the non-volley zone. Couldn't quite get it there, full stretch here. Okay, now this shot here. Oh, I go for a backhand drive. Not the worst decision here, but now you'll see where I drive this to his forehand, or I could just hit a drop here and get it back into play. But that gives him another volley. He angles out. Okay, and I'm way off the court here. I push it down the line. See, it's all about buying time, especially in singles. When you get pushed out here, you don't want to hit a drive or something hard here. This is actually, you can see me here hitting a slice, but this floats, doesn't give me a lot of time. I should have went cross court with it. And now I'm really, really running here. Boom. Full slide. Volley. Volley. And I was actually in pretty good position here. And he just flicked his paddle, went right to his forehand, and he just hit a great shot there. Great shot here. Let's take a look at that slide one more time. Just for good effect, and look at this point here. Boom, slide there. Backhand to the forehand. Right here, full stretch. Let's see the slidage here. Foot starts there. 1, 2, 3, 4. Ooh, maybe 3 or 4 feet slide there. Not a bad slide. And I recover. I don't know how I recovered though, but that was a good recover. I try to just get that ball back right here, and he hit it. And this volley here, I should have probably just tried to keep this ball down. It was really, really tough. I just hit that ball kind of right to his forehand. That's just good awareness, good coverage there by Ben. Okay, paddle drop right there. Little breathing there. All right. Great return there. And I remember this. I would let this ball go out 10 out of 10 times actually. Didn't work out in my favor here, but I'm actually glad I let this ball go here. You can see his serve, really tough serve, and this return lands really deep. And I don't know if Ben was going for a lob or something, but that's way, way high. I know it wasn't traveling that fast, but you know, typically those kinds of balls usually are sailing out. That ball just dropped in. Okay. That's just a really good shot there. Now this is just a tough one, and in every game you're gonna get let cords and things like that. But I had been on the move here, and this is why I think that momentum started to change after that let cord here. He had, I had him moving. And then here, you know, sometimes it's tough to readjust on a let cord. At times, you know, you're trying your best, but you know, you just always got to be ready. Tough ball, a little frustration there on my side. Nice return. Just push that volley a little bit. And you can see here, this is where I take a timeout. So I think that was a good timeout by me. Nice return down the middle. Another little let cord, and that was a tough one. All right, so that's good pressure by me. I'm going back to the lob serve to see if that can do anything. Man, this was just another decision-making error, I think, by me here. Lob serve here, we got the return going, and you know, this is, like I said, always going for the line, lowest percentage shot, but this ball spinning away from me. He hits a really good ball here, and it has a lot of action on it, and this was just really, really tough. So what I could have done is elected to drop on that one too. That would have been an option. It's a good volley. Man, that was a good recovery by Ben there, and you can see it here. Let's see here. All right, here we go. Ben to serve. Good return to the backhand. That was a nice deep volley by me. Keeping it to his forehand side, though. And this is just, look at this low. That's a tough ball. Really low ball. And when we talk about singles, I'm going to do a lot of more strategy, singles strategy videos on our channel here, Briones Pickleball. But this is a shot that is tough, like dipping down towards my feet, right? When you're hitting passing shots in the game of pickleball, unlike tennis, you actually want your shots dipping down a little bit past that non-volley zone, making it a tough and low contact point for your opponents. All right, and he overcooked that volley there. Ben knew it there. And I think here, he takes a little timeout. He waits for me to set. Give him a little breather. All right. Go back with the regular serve. All right, so that was a pretty good passing shot there. Let's see where Ben was shaded here. Okay, the return was short, and it was right to my forehand. And you can see here, he is in pretty good position. This is just a fairly good roll, and it's to his backhand side. I would like to see I need to practice that shot so I can hit that more efficiently. That's a missed serve. We'll add that to the stats there. All right, so this is game point here. Ben called this out, and from my previous video, if you haven't seen this, here's final point. Yes, 14. We're going to 15, and you can see this ball lands in. He calls it out, but you know what? This kind of stuff happens, and actually Ben replied to a video, and he apologized for that, which really, really cool for him. Ben, good playing. You know, we make bad calls at times. No hard feelings. So that was the end of the game here. So just to recap, a couple of things that maybe I could have focused on here. Trying to attack the backhand more, especially when I'm getting volleys at the net. Maybe hit some drop volleys towards his backhand side. And I think in general, trying to, you know, at times dictate up at the net instead of pushing that ball out really, really deep so that he can pass me again. Maybe I can hit some drops, trying to bring him in really tough, make him run in on the backhand side. Obviously, my serves, my returns, I'm going to be working on. I miss a good, you know, not a lot, but in this, at the pro level, that was a good amount of returns. That's a lot of points to miss and to give away. So, you know, working on my return, I'll be doing that. And a couple other things I would say is when that ball or when I am stretching or reaching, I really need to learn how to slow that ball down, come under it. And you'll see a lot of good players, Ben Johns, you'll see Tyson, you'll see Tyson McGuffin, a lot of top players, when they're in trouble, they slow the ball down so that they can buy themselves time, because it's all about buying time, especially in singles. You have the whole court to cover. So if you are in a stressed position, especially if you have good mobility and you can get back into a good position, if you're out of position, hit a slow ball, preferably cross court into the non-volley zone, and buy yourself time. That's something I'm going to be working out on. So yeah, I hope you all enjoyed that. Now we're going to be doing more videos like this in the future, and I hope to do more single strategy. So if you do like single strategy, please leave a comment below. Tell me what you thought about this video, about this format, and we'll be doing a lot more. So again, thank you so much for watching this video, and we'll see you in the next one. Thanks so much for watching. For a free pickleball workout routine that is guaranteed to level up your game, head on to brionespickleball.com/workout. Before you head on over there, make sure you're subscribed to this YouTube channel and hit that little bell icon so that you can be notified every time we release a new video. Again, thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.
Have this feeling, haven't felt for so long. Took a hold of me and won't let go. I've been sleeping, caught me off my guard, 'cause you're in my space and now